Life is like a roller coaster, but it's so much better when we go through it together. It's true, we are better together. And this season, I'm asking our podcast community to do something together to make a difference in the world. There are hard things going on around us. Hurricanes, floods, fires, people hurting. And as followers of Jesus, we show up in the hard stuff and we build relationships with people who need us. We give. Each week, I'm bringing you a short piece of an interview with a special guest, and each week, you'll hear more about what we can do together. These are short episodes, less than 10 minutes, so come join us.
Thanks God, I was born. That's the very beginning of my story.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know if you can see those aspects of spiritual warfare. Single mother,
Yep.
Struggling financially. That's a reality that I believe even maybe some moms listening to us and follow you and follow the podcast are going through.
Yeah.
And so I hope they can see this because God has a plan. God had a plan for me.
Yeah.
We're going to continue talking about that, but God has a plan for them as well. But I don't know if you relate to that reality, a mom on herself.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly relate, not in the sense that's my story, but I certainly know of enough stories, whether I've read them, seen them on the news, or when I've gone to visit the children that I sponsor. I've seen it firsthand going to Africa, going to the Dominican Republic. That was very much a story of two of the children that I sponsor, and their mom ran away from abuse. That's where it all started. Ran away from her family and didn't have anything, but eventually did find a husband, and they are together, and they have 3 beautiful children, and I sponsor 2 of them. But I've sat and talked with her in their home and heard all about it, and it breaks my heart. But it's amazing to see what God can do, and also the people that can come around and support and help. Yeah. So take me to where you're born.
I'm born then in Santo Domingo, a ghetto, basically. Drugs, prostitution, gambling, a very difficult context. And so now, let me just mention something about poverty that, speaking of blaming, so when I was born, my mother didn't have any prenatal care. And I now, as a father and with my wife, we reflect on there are certain things that we take for granted in a context, in a healthy context, in a healthy family context, where a mother have prenatal care, basic things as vitamins, specific vitamins that doesn't come to mind in English, but there are specific vitamin children need to grow in the womb. Yeah. For me, calcium was one that I needed and that I didn't have. So when I was born, I had calcium failure in my teeth. So my teeth were very weak, and because my mother didn't have any calcium while pregnant, that opened for me a journey of my teeth being very weak. We didn't have any money to pay for a dentist, and I do remember my mom talked to a professor. She was very creative. Now that I reflect on that, because we couldn't pay for a dentist, but she found a way to talk to a professor in a university. So I could go to this public university. 20 students will practice with a real mouth, and I will get the dental care that I needed. Very creative. And
your mom found this on her own?
Yeah.
She was a determined woman.
That's what I am reflecting on. Now I am like thankful for her. She's my hero, of course. But those ways that she found to support her baby, So she talked to this professor, 20 students. They will tie me to a bed, force jacket, and an open mouth metal machine. I laugh because I jokingly say, I know I'm describing a trauma. It was a traumatic setting because I didn't want to be there. Like 20 students, and they will tie me to that bed, keep my mouth open. If there is any dentist listening, which I believe there might be in this big audience, I don't hate you anymore, but I used to.
But I'm looking at your teeth right now and I'm like, your teeth are so gorgeous. I would never even think that there was any problem from the start. You have really amazing, beautiful teeth.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm thankful for this professor and these students. And I always say, these are real teeth.
I can tell they're real teeth.
For 7 years, they studied my case, invested in my case. But there is this sense of dignity when you're in poverty. And for me, being in this reality, working in the streets, my early memories is walking in the streets, looking for plastic and an item to recycle, to buy a piece of bread and eat something.
Come back next week to hear more about Jonathan's story. To see how we can make a difference together, go to Candace.com and click where it says the word compassion. You'll see more about my story and be able to change the life of someone like Jonathan. Go to Candace.com, click where it says compassion, and join me. Until next time, be grateful all day, every day. Candy Rock Entertainment, all rights reserved.